Well, how you doing, guys? It's Chris from Northland Bushcraft. I'm going to run a scenario for you. Uh, it's just basically a practice method for you to try it out yourself. Um, it just helps hone your skills a little bit. The scenario is, it was about on a scout, got away from the hunting camp. All my gear is there. My backpacks, all my bushcrafting stuff is there. The only thing I have with it is my firearm and what happens to be on my person. Gotten all turned around. Uh, don't know where I am, so basically I am lost now. And I now have to survive for the night or however long it may have to be in order to, uh, be found. So the objective now is just to utilize only the things that are on my person. So whatever's on my belt, my gun, um, and basically hunker down and trying to make the best of things as I can, utilizing knowledge and skills and again what's on my person. So as we start, the benefit I do have is my hunting clothes are waterproof. Um, However, that doesn't mean squat when you're enduring elements. We are now in the fall. Temperatures are dropping below zero or the freezing mark at night. So you have to be able to maintain fire. You have to build a shelter. You have to find a water source. And potentially, depending on the length of time that you were here, definitely a food source. Um, More so just for your own personal comfort, I would suggest a food source. So, what we need to do first is the recognition that you are lost. Okay, once you recognize you are in fact lost, you have no idea where you are. 99% of the time, people that are in the bush get turned around in a heartbeat and end up circling, just doing big circles as they're walking, trying to find their way back. And as they're doing this, they're just creating more and more distance from where they're supposed to be in the first place. So there's an acronym that you use, which is called STOP, which means stay where you are, all right? Um, Take control of your emotions, okay? Because once you learn that you are lost, you're going to panic, all right? So you need to get that in check very fast, right? Get control over your emotions, all right? Observe your surroundings, okay? What do you got around you? Where are you in proximity to a water or perhaps a road? So you can observe these things and then prepare to have to survive the night or longer if required. All right. So you want to, first thing you want to do is just stop. All right, and just start thinking, what do I need to do? All right. There's no point in wandering in circles and keep going, keep going, keep going. We've heard it time and time again. Guys will wander in the bush at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to find their way back to where they're supposed to be, having only created even more distance between their search parties or their hunting buddies that are coming to look for them. All right. So sit down and do what you need to do if you have to spend the night. And you can pretty much count on the fact you're going to probably be spending the night while everyone comes looking for you. All right. So I'm going to set up here. I'm going to show you what's on what I have with me. Like I say, I got my firearm and just what's on my person. I don't have a backpack. I have nothing else. And so I'm going to take note of what I have and what I can utilize to help me. And we'll go from there. All right. So I'll just lay everything out for you, and I'll take a video shot of everything that's with me and how I'm going to utilize it. All right, guys. Let's go and take a look at what I came into the bush with. Again, bearing in mind, all my gear has been left at the main camp, and I only have what's on me. So here I have a shotgun, 3 rounds in the firearm, 5 rounds in the on the side. I'm smart enough to at least bring a canteen with me. If you're going to wander the bush, you need water. Typical hunter would bring either a water bottle or something, even cans of pop. So nice. Now I have a water source. And I have, because it's the full canteen kit, I have a means of boiling water. Comes in very handy. Here is just Right here is just a cheap multi-tool. All right, these are the $12 ones from Walmart, just for the sake of experiment, rather than bringing my Leatherman. I'm going to go with what most people might have and just buy the cheap sets. All right, so I'm going to be utilizing that. I have my buck knife, typical hunting knife, very sharp, very utilitarian. Okay, and then my what would be called, I guess, an EDC, or everyday carry. With it, I have 2 hanks of paracord, one Strike Force, a survival whistle, okay, and a P38. P38 is not going to do me any good in the bush right now because obviously there's not stored foods around here, is there? So that becomes redundant at this point, but it could probably be used in other things. Right? So this is all I've got. This is all the equipment that I have with me, other than what is inside my shotgun. Okay, I do have a kit contained inside my shotgun, which I'm going to pull out, and I'll show you what is in there in a second. Alright boys, here's the shotgun. Okay, it is unloaded right now, obviously for safety reasons. Bear that in mind if you're going to build one of these kits. If you're going to open it, empty the rounds out of it, okay? But anyhow, inside it, what I've got, again, remember, we're in a survival situation now. So I'm going to utilize what I have available. Right off the hop, I have a large Ziploc bag. I can utilize it for water. Okay. Had I not brought the canteen, I can utilize this for collecting water, be it rainwater or from a pond or whatever. Okay, we have that. Small little pocket knife is brought with me as well. It's in there. It's just a knife, an awl, and a couple can openers on it. Okay, it's just a backup. Survival blanket. Smart choice. That'll come in very handy for shelter. Okay? We'll get to that later. Small 3-foot piece of paracord. That'll be used for making fishing line. I'll show you that. Here, small fishing kit. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's little ice fishing jig heads. Okay, I find they work tremendously better than big hooks. Berkeley Power Bait maggots, little plastic maggots. They're scented. They work really well. And also some split shot in there. The reason I use ice fishing gear is it's far easier to catch a mittful of small fish than it is to catch one big one. Okay, so when you're hungry and you need food, it's nothing to catch 50 sunfish or 60 perch, and you just throw them on a spit over top of the fire. At least you've got food, lots of it. Okay, so it's far easier to catch the smaller ones than it is the big ones. Keep that in mind. Let's see, what else we got here? A small container. This has 10 purification tablets for water. So, in conjunction with that Ziploc bag, I can fill that 10 times because I have 10 tablets. So that's a lot of water I can utilize. Okay. Broken fire steel. Yeah. They don't like being dropped, by the way, because that's what happens to them when you drop them on the ground, especially a hard ground. So this is in the kit. It does still work. You can still get spark from it. Alright, it's just smaller now. So that's in there. So now I have a means of fire. What else do we got? Buried way down in there, if I can get it out. There we go. A bag of dryer lint and the almost like the wet fire stuff. There's two things of that in there. So the dryer lint and the wet fire, in conjunction with the striker, I have fire source. And that's it. And if need be, if for whatever reason you didn't have a vessel, you didn't bring a container, or you couldn't find a can or a bottle or anything, this can come off. You unscrew this, it will come off. You are able to reach down in there with your Leatherman or your knife and unscrew the inside. And you can use this as a water container. Okay? So don't think for a second because you don't have something, you can't utilize something else for the same purpose. Okay? So that's the items that were in here. Okay? Again, I do have the 5 extra rounds and the 3 rounds that were inside the firearm itself. I am not going to utilize those. Reason being, I have paracord, so I can set traps. I'm not starving to death right now. I'm not going to die in the next day. Alright? If something made itself, extremely easily available where I was not going to miss at all, there was no chance of it missing, I might take it with the firearm. The primary right now, the firearm is for my personal security in the event I have a predator that comes into wherever I'm going to set up camp. Be it a bear, be it wolves, be it a cougar, whatever. Okay? I'm also going to use those rounds for signaling. If the guys that are looking for me are cranking off the universal signal of 3 rounds, I'm going to repeat it back with 1 round. I'm over here. Okay? They might not hear my whistle that I do have. You know, shotgun sound will carry a little further than the whistle sound. Right? So that's what I'm going to utilize it for. In dire straits, I would utilize it for obtaining food. But right now, I am not touching the rounds. I'm going to utilize them for other things. If I couldn't get a fire going, I could pull around the part, use the gunpowder off of that, take the ferrocerium rod to it, strike it, and ignite my kindling, or my tinder. But anyhow, let's move on. Let's look for a campsite where we can set camp, okay, and start to utilize these items that I have on my body, or that are with me, and survive the night.